Founded in 2024, this up-and-coming manufacturer from the Far East made headlines just 2 years later by winning a World Supersport race, beating heavyweights like Ducati and Yamaha with a 4-second lead. Today, we're putting them head-to-head to see how they stack up. So for horsepower, the Chinese ZX-Moto comes out on top, pushing around 134 horses at the crank. That's about 15 more than both the Panigale and the R9. And that's not even its final form. Step up to the higher spec RRR, and you're looking at roughly 145 horsepower, stretching the gap even further. But with that strong top-end focus, there are some trade-offs. When it comes to torque, the ZX-Moto makes around 80 Newton meters, while both the Panigale and the R9 are sitting at about 93 Newton meters, with the Panigale just slightly more by less than 1 Newton meter. As for weight, the Panigale is the lightest at around 190 kilograms. The ZX-Moto comes in roughly 3 kilograms heavier, and the R9 isn't far off either at about 195 kilograms. So when you factor in power to weight, the ZX-Moto is the clear winner, followed by the Panigale, then the R9. The ZX-Moto is all about top-end performance, which is why it performs so well in track, like its recent historic win on World Supersport. Its power band really comes alive at higher RPM, where you spend most of your time on track. Meanwhile, the Panigale and R9 are tuned to be more versatile. They've got stronger load of mid-range torque with more punch right off the line, making them a bit more suited for street riding. Taking a closer look under the fairing, the Panigale runs a 90-degree V-twin, often called an L-twin, while the other two are powered by inline triple engines. Interestingly, despite its massive power output, the ZX-Moto actually has the smallest displacement here at 820cc, compared to the 890cc found in both the R9 and the Panigale. The Panigale boasts the highest compression ratio here. And when it comes to the valve train, all three bikes use a conventional spring valve, double overhead cam setup, including Ducati, which has now ditched its iconic desmodromic system on the Panigale V2. Power is delivered to the rear wheel through a 6-speed gearbox, complete with assist and slipper clutch. As for colors, the 820RR comes in red, black, and white. The Panigale V2 sticks to Ducati's iconic red, but if you step up to the V2S, you can also get it in yellow. And for the R9, Yamaha offers 3 choices: blue, black, and a special 70th anniversary white. When it comes to electronics, the R9 clearly takes this round. It comes fully loaded with rider aids right out of the box. Cornering ABS, a 6-axis IMU, ride-by-wire, multiple riding modes, traction and wheelie control, slide control, engine brake management, launch control, cruise control, a quick shifter, and a TFT dash with smartphone connectivity and multimedia. It's essentially superbike level tech in this segment. The Panigale is pretty much on the same level, but it's a bit less generous. Features like cruise control and multimedia are optional, so you'll need to pay extra to get the full package. The 820RR, on the other hand, is slightly less sophisticated. It still offers the essentials, but it lacks slide control and engine brake control, so it doesn't quite match the R9's extensive electronics package. For chassis, the R9 and the ZX-Moto both use aluminum perimeter or twin spar frames, while the Panigale sticks with its signature aluminum monocoque frame, which also doubles as the airbox. That helps make it more compact and lightweight. Up front, all 3 get fully adjustable upside-down forks. The R9 uses KYB units. The Panigale comes with Marzocchi forks, while the suspension brand on the base ZX-Moto isn't specified, though the higher spec RRR and RRRS models are equipped with KYB forks. At the rear, both the R9 and Panigale feature fully adjustable KYB monoshocks. The ZX-Moto also gets a fully adjustable shock. For braking, The R9 takes the lead with Brembo Stylema calipers. The Panigale uses Brembo M50, while the 820RR comes with Teisco brakes, upgrading to Brembos on the higher spec models. Tire sizes are pretty much the same, except for the R9, which gets a slightly narrower rear tire. The ZXMOTO might not be the lightest bike here, but it compensates with a bigger fuel tank, about 3 liters more than the Panigale and 4 liters more than the R9. Seat heights are also quite similar, although the Panigale sits just a bit taller. When it comes to wheelbase, the Panigale's L-twin layout naturally gives a longer stance. The R9 and ZXMOTO have similar wheelbases, but the ZXMOTO adds adjustability. With its adjustable swing arm pivot and caster angle, you can dial in the geometry to suit your riding style or conditions. Pretty neat. When it comes to pricing for the US and European markets, the 820RR hasn't been officially announced yet. But based on conversions from the Chinese yuan, it's expected to cost between $5,000 and $7,000, way cheaper than the Panigale V2 at around $17,000 and the Yamaha R9 at about $12,500. Even the fully spec'd 820RR with top-of-the-line DLC-coated KYB fork, Brembo Stylema brakes, titanium exhaust, and carbon fiber bodywork makes around 145 horsepower and weighs just 186 kilograms weight. And it's still expected to be priced under 10 grand. So in terms of value for performance, the 820RR wins by miles. In terms of character, the ZXMOTO is clearly the most track-oriented bike in this comparison. With its high performance, top-end focused, rev-happy engine, and adjustable chassis, it's the ideal choice if your primary focus is track riding. Meanwhile, the Panigale V2 and the R9 are more versatile options. Their broader power bands provide stronger pull from the start and better low to mid-range torque, making them more suitable for everyday street riding and commuting. Of course, since ZXMOTO is a relatively new company, there are valid concerns about quality or after-sales support compared to established brands like Yamaha and Ducati. That said, the company has introduced a 1-year unlimited replacement and also delay compensation policy. If a part cannot be replaced within a specified time frame, ZXMOTO compensates the rider for each additional day of delay, potentially making the repair free of charge. They've also set up a European parts hub in Italy to ensure faster service. And honestly, we can't underestimate Chinese brands anymore. In just 2 years, ZXMOTO has already secured a historic win in World Supersport racing. If this progress continues, the Japanese manufacturers might need to watch out.